I walked away the moment she said. It didn't mean anything. That was all it took. 5 small words that shattered me completely. I didn't scream. I didn't ask for names. I didn't beg for reasons. Because when someone can stare into your eyes and tell you that the person they kissed held no meaning at all, what is there left to hold on to? So I walked. And for years I convinced myself she never looked back. Not until I saw her again, standing among strangers, at my father's funeral. She stood there like she belonged. Tears sliding down her face like she wasn't the one who had torn me apart. And in that single moment, the silence I'd buried for so long came rushing back. The hurt, the confusion, the pain I had worked so hard to forget. We were together for 5 years. It wasn't a perfect story, but it was real. It was ours. She was my best friend, my peace. The only one who truly understood what I never dared say aloud. She knew how strained things were between my dad and me. She also knew how deeply losing him would cut me, no matter how complicated things had become. She once swore we'd survive anything side by side. But life doesn't wait for you to be ready. And betrayal, it doesn't knock. Kicks the door in. It started with a weekend she claimed she needed for herself. She said she was tired, burned out, just needed time to think. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She'd never given me a reason not to. Until her phone buzzed at 2 a.m. Until her energy shifted when I entered the room. Until her "I love yous" sounded hollow. One night I asked, "Is there someone else?" A pause. And that pause said everything. She tried to deny it at first, tried to downplay it. But when I pressed again, gently, that's when she finally said it. It didn't mean anything. No name. No details. Just those 5 words. And somehow, that stung worse than if she'd told me it meant everything. Because she wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my shelter. And now, that place no longer existed. So I left. Packed my bag, stayed with a friend, and cut off all contact. No final words. No closure. Just gone. And she never followed. Not once. So I assumed it was easy for her. That I was forgettable. Replaceable. That I was never more than convenience. Time passed, or at least tried to. I drowned myself in work, hit the gym, started therapy. Tried to rebuild. But grief doesn't care about your progress. 6 months later my father passed. Sudden. Unexpected. No goodbye. No second chances. Even though we weren't close, it cracked something inside me. Not because of the love we had, but because I always thought there was time left to fix things. I didn't cry. I handled everything. Delivered the eulogy. Stood at the casket without breaking. Until I saw her. She stood at the back, dressed in black. Eyes red. Fists clenched like she was trying to hold herself together. She wasn't invited. She didn't belong there. She had no right. But her eyes locked onto mine like I was the only one in the world. I wanted to ask why. Why now? Why after everything? But I didn't. I turned away and pretended her gaze didn't burn through me. After the burial, when most had left, I stayed behind. Needed air. Needed stillness. That's when I saw her again, closer. Her expression unreadable. She stepped forward slowly, cautiously. "I'm sorry," she said. "For coming," she added quickly. But I couldn't stay away. I didn't respond. Just stared. She looked down, then back up. "Your dad was kind to me," she said. "He always told me I was good for you." Her voice cracked. "I didn't know how to be good for you. Not then. And when you asked about the other person, panic. I said it meant nothing because I didn't know what else to say." "You didn't fight for me," I said quietly. She winced. "I know," she whispered. "And I'll carry that forever." We stood there, 2 broken people standing where love used to live. Then she said something I didn't expect. "I still have the note your dad gave me the first time we had dinner with him." She reached into her purse and handed me a small folded piece of paper. Worn, creased, but intact. It was his handwriting. "If you ever hurt my son, leave before he finds out. He loves too deeply to survive betrayal." I looked up from the note. "Then why didn't you?" I asked. She didn't flinch. Because I was scared. Selfish. And a part of me hoped you'd someday forgive me. Tears ran down her cheeks. I know you probably hate me. Maybe you always will. But it did mean something. You meant everything. I said nothing. Not then. Not until she turned to leave. Why now? I asked. She paused, glanced back. Because grief strips away pride, she said. And I needed you to know, I never stopped loving you. I just didn't know how to love you the right way. She walked away. No final scene. No promises. Just a goodbye I didn't expect. But maybe needed. To anyone who's been through something like this, closure doesn't always come in a perfect conversation. Sometimes it arrives in broken sentences, rainy days, and the last face you expect to see. I may never truly forgive her. But I've come to understand this. Some people leave and never look back. And some don't look back. Until it's already too late. If you've ever been betrayed and left in the silence, share your story. Because healing isn't always about reunion. Sometimes it's finally hearing the truth, even if it takes years to arrive.